Alright, so no introduction or outro, but this one cut me a little bit deeper than normal because, oh man, not only did I watch them on all the Mandalorian episodes as an absolute iconic badass, absolute amazing God-tier level of acting this man Carl Weathers was, even though I only saw him in a little bit of stuff like Predator, Predator 2, and then of course the Rocky Balboa series, the most biggest thing that he was for. Even a little bit of the Action Jackson shit. Granted, I was way too little to watch that, but I had to watch the uncut, uncensored version, like TBS, TNT, old school TV television show version of Action Jackson, but it was still badass as hell. And Happy Gilmore, and of course the Mandalorian episodes, like I said before. I think his name was Gita. Not Gita, it was something else, but man, so badass as hell. Yeah, Geef Kagra. He was like my third, maybe fourth favorite in the Mandalorian, man. That was at the time when Gina Carano was still there. I think the fourth season they had kicked her out because Disney, the whole SJW stuff that was happening at that time, which I hate getting into. I don't want to talk about that shit again on the channel, but extremely rare once or maybe twice a year I might talk about it and that's it. Yeah, no music in the background, as you can tell, because it's a massive, huge sign of sympathy and respect for the dude. Deadline, man. I know this is way, way old too. I know I'm a weekend like 2 days late on this. I don't care. It just is what it is. I do care because this man's absolute bad tier level. Especially if you're a black Latino, especially living in the ghetto hood projects and all that. Everyone almost wanted to be this dude like Carl Weathers, one of the most best, actually even bigger than Denzel, and before even Denzel Washington, Samuel Jackson, Will Smith, and other fools like Jamie Foxx and all that. Even before all those big giant African American actors were ginormous, as Carl Weathers was like way ahead of his time. And hilarious, funny dude, man. And he would get super, super serious too, man. So yeah, Carl Weathers that passed away died. Rocky Predator star who appeared in Happy Gilmore and Mandalorian and more. It's only 76. And there was another one that died literally last week. This one, I didn't really grow up with him. I listened like whenever I used to go to the malls when I still lived in upstate New York and a little bit in Harlem, New York. And sometimes my mom would take me to the mall or I'd go to like really, really shitty places I had to wait for, like Michael's or Joanne Fabrics or Fashion Bug. This dude, Toby Keith, he ended up passing away. Died at 62 following stomach cancer diagnosis. So two big icon celebrities that were big as hell in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. So we lost two of them this month, man. And that's coming up to a rocky start in the beginning of 2024. And it had to be a February, too. Especially in Black History Month. It's insane, but I'm going to read little bits and pieces. I'm not going to read the whole entire thing. This comes from Eric Purdinsons. I know I'm very, very late, so some might not come until Sunday or Monday. Because I know Sunday's a whole giant Super Bowl thing. I'm only watching for the commercials anyway, so it doesn't matter. That and the really, really nostalgia badass freaking show that Usher's supposed to bring in. And that's it. That's the only reason I'm watching. I don't really care for sports that much, but the only two reasons I'm going to sit my butt through the torture of the Chiefs, Kansas City Chiefs versus the 49ers. No offense if anybody likes the NFL, NBA. It was never for me. Or MLB. Baseball's the only one I kind of liked. But I never liked this gambling thing. I saw gobbling. Not goblin. Gambling. The aspect part. I hate that fucking part about sports nowadays. It's funny because ironically the city I live in. But anyways. Let's get started. Carl Weathers, who starred as Apollo Creed in the first Rocky films, appeared in Predator, Mandalorian, Happy Gilmore, Action. Oh, he was in Arrested Development and dozens of other. I'm gonna have to go on Wikipedia to see all the other stuff he was in. So he was in stuff I didn't even know about. What? I didn't know he was in Arrested Development. That's funny. Another TV shows and films. Died Thursday, which is the week before last week. February 2nd. I know it's the 11th today. If you don't believe me, it's day of the freaking Super Bowl too. But it is what it is. I already got that recorded in the DVR. I'm gonna watch it later. So it says, yeah. We are deeply saddened, very deeply saddened. I'm not surprised that they are. I'm super deeply saddened. I know I'm not parasocial relationship in this dude, but he was one of my OG icons. I didn't look up to him as a superhero, but I looked up to him as a badass, cool. He was good with the ladies. He always got the hot ass girls. Always had the cool cars and the cool freaking private jet. But he was like an underdog fighter, man. That's what I loved about Carl Weathers. And the badassness in Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's like that meme was just, Dylan, you son of a bitch. Boom. He does like that. That was funny. I used to love that, man. I'm going to miss that meme like hell. But let's move on. His family in the statement says, quote, he died peacefully in his sleep on Thursday. That's the scariest thing in a freaking goddamn planet, bro. He died on February 1st on his sleep. I thought it was the 2nd. almost the same, but says Carl Weathers is an exceptional human being who lived an extraordinary life. Throughout his contributions to the film and television, arts, and sports, he has left an incredible mark, recognized worldwide across generations. He was a beloved brother, father, grandfather, partner, and friend. Wow, he had a lot of titles. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, somebody was saying, because I think it was shout out to my boy. I don't know if it was a Carter family or the other one, Tyra Magnus. Big giant black YouTube channels. They're definitely sub them if you want. Um, I was saying he used to be like an Oakland Raiders, like freaking. He started in football first. That's crazy. I didn't know that. And then he started doing like TV later on, and I think Broadway theater. I think it's wild, man. This is- oh wow, he had the same birthday month as me, except he was born January 14th, instead of 29th. That would have been more badass, but it is what it is. New Orleans Weathers appeared in more than 75 films and TV shows during his 50-year screenings. Yep, there it is. Greek Kagura, man, he was such an honor to have in that freaking show, man. I used to like watching him the most too, besides Gina Carano and, of course, the baby Grogu, dude. Grogu. I'm not even gonna fanboy off of the Star Wars Mandalorian. Head of the Bounty Hunter Guild in a 9-episode Disney Plus Star Wars The Mandalorian. In 3 seasons, the characters become close. Oh, and yeah, Pedro Pascal too. As Mando in the series progress. Weathers was a 2021 Emmy and nominee role for also directed a pairs of episodes, season 2 and 3. Last month, Lucasfilm confirmed Mandalorian feature film Mandalorian Grogu was in the works, with a series between creator Jon Favreau to direct. It is unclear whether Pascal or any of the other series were involved in the film. Slated to begin prod of this year. They can't do it now, though, man, because he's gone. Bro, that shit hurts. Oh, even Sylvester Stallone made some stuff. So I said I'm going to skip around a little bit. He also appeared as Chief Police Hampton's Forbes in more than 24 episodes in 1985, 1995. Oh, wow, he did that. That was before my time, so I didn't know what that was, 1989, 1995. I would have been too little to remember anyways, because by the time I was 7, I started remembering shit, because I was like 5 when the show was big. I was still coming out like a baby at that time. 4 or 5 years old. The Heat of the Night, starring Carol O'Connor and Howard Rollins. I'm going to have to go to every Wikipedia thing he did. I'll probably read a list of it at the end of the video. Who knows? Weathers is a series as a regular. 1993, 1994 is the 7th and final films appearing in the post-series telefilms. Wow. Weathers also voiced in... Oh, he did that too? Wow. He did a lot of other stuff I didn't know. I just knew him for the big stuff, not the small stuff like that. Wow. Combat Carl in the Oscar-winning award movie Toy Story 4 after going originating characteristics of 2013 TV special Toy Story Terror. I would have did like a ration commentary thing if I would have known all the other stuff that he did besides those. Okay. Let's continue. Other credits include 1988 Star Turn Action Jackson, which earned a NAACP Image Award for nomination and came sorry opposition Arnold Schwarzenegger's 1987 Predator. Yeah, I know that was before my time, but they used to show it all the time back in the day. It was more of the censored, nicer version. I think it was like on the old school shit, like on TV back in the day before YouTube took and Amazon Prime pretty much took over that whole old cable stuff, because a lot of people are cable cutters nowadays. They don't give a shit about that anymore. My generation, millennials, don't. The older ones before mine, maybe Gen Xers, maybe old school, super old behito boomers, real boomers, they give a shit about TV. I don't. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Yeah, the Predator one, yeah. Oh, dude, he was so cool as hell in that one. I used to watch that like 1,000 freaking times every time I came back from school sometimes for like Saturday morning, like practice shit for like baseball. But anyways, let's move on. In the later films, Weathers plays Al Dillon, CIA operative and old Vietnam War buddy of Arnold Schwarzenegger's Madge. Alan Dutch Schaefer, they are stalked by a mysterious life form that deploys thermal imaging cloaks and doesn't end well for Dillon. Oh, yeah, I remember that. That sucks. I remember he gets his like arm or his like freaking leg cut off or something. That shit was crazy, man. So cool. Just capsulated in time. I was a young baby face Arnold Schwarzenegger, man. And then this dude, man. Fucking Carl Weathers, bro. Forgot how tiny his little ears were, but he was still a freaking badass regardless. But Carl Weathers best well known for playing Apollo Creed, the heavyweight champion of the world who gave Journeyman Boxer Rocky Balboa, Sylvester Stallone, a shot at the title. 1976's Rocky. Weathers reprised the role in Rocky II, which featured a title rematch of Balboa. In 1982's Rocky III, where he trained Balboa to fight the brutish Clubber Lang, aka Mr. T. Yep, I remember that too. And if you guys are older than me, 80s kids, you probably remember way better than me for the 90s kids. Let's move on. Creed's final film in the franchise was Rocky V, 1985, where he was killed in the ring by, chiseled Russian heavyweight. The one that Dolph Lundgren and Lundgren plays. One for the Expendables. Ivan Drago. Yep. Weathers also had a memorable... Oh, and this one too. That was like the first Adam Sandler movie I ever watched too, man. I remember that, bro. Also had a memorable turn as Derek Chubbs Patterson, the opposite Adam Sandler's Happy Gilmore. Oh, that was so funny, that movie back in the day. I know. I was a 90s kid. Adam Sandler was cool as fuck now. He's kind of just a grumpy old dude that just works on Netflix, which sucks, man. I used to love the shit out of his stuff when I was a 90s, 2000s kid teenager, man. When he was in his prime of acting. Let's continue on. Adam Sandler's Happy Gilmore, playing the title of golf coach. Peterson was a, quote, pro golfer, was forced to lead the tour after losing his hand to an alligator. His wooden replacement, Paul, was the source of many gag reels. Oh, yeah. His wooden Paul. Oh, and then Adam Sandler made a little tribute to him. The other one, too. Yep. Damn. He was badly injured while filming. Yeah, this is what Adam Sandler said about him. Filming a fall stunt during Happy Gilmore shoot, leading to years of terrible pain. Quote, I didn't know it until years later, but I fractured 2 vertebrae. What? And osteoporosis. Grew and connected. Oof. That must have hurt real bad. I did all kinds of self-infused in a really bad place, he told GQ in 2020. Oh, 4 years ago. Wow. There were 3 or 4 years of I just was in excruciating pain. Oh, I didn't know that, man. Oh, wow. He's in a whole bunch of other stuff. Yep. Says he began his screen time during the era with the guest shots in TV sitcom series Good Times, Home Food, SWAT, and $6 Million Man in Canon. As the decades went on, he appeared in the episodes Starsky and Hutch, Martin B. Jones, Switches, Streets of San Francisco. I've heard of some of these shows, but a lot of this was like before my time. I think the only ever one I watched was $6 Million Man once, and that was it. I was with my old man, my father. My dad, he was a real big fan of the freaking $6 Million Man. That one and the other one, too, was way hardcore fan of Starsky and Hutch. That was like my old man's time, not mine. It would have been more nostalgia for him than it was for me, but whatever. Let's move on. He returned to his action roots in the late 90s in the Assault of the Devil's Island, Assault of Death Mountains. Oh, and both opposite of Hulk Hogan and Shannon. Wow, I didn't know that. Weathers have been in missions for 1975. Pair of, I don't know how to say that word, I'm just going to skip that. Blacktown and Friday Foster. His other movie roles include Semi-Tough, Wars 10, Narrowvan, Death Hunt, and Hurricane Smith. Yeah, obviously thoughts, use opinions. Rest in peace to this dude, man. This guy was an absolute God-tier level of his time, bro. I'm going to miss the hell out of him. Rest in peace. Huge rest in peace to Toby Keith. I didn't get a chance to do a video on him, but his legendary, iconic music is going to live on. Should have been a cowboy and all those other ones he did. Good. He performed, his performance was well top-notch. This man will be engraved as a statue, man. I'm going to miss the hell out of him. They should make a statue out of the dude, or name a street after him in St. Louis somewhere, and it's Louisiana, New Orleans. They should make a freaking big, giant mega statue like they did with Kid Cudi I heard about 3 months ago. That was insane as fuck. Dude for Carl Weathers, man. This guy, I'm surprised he didn't become like a freaking political president, bro. He would have been so freaking badass cool. Shit. The badassness of a man that exemplifies and absolutely not traumatizes, but is a good freaking role model for a bunch of kids from the 80s and 90s. He did Close Encounters, Death Hunt, Rocky V, Happy Gilmore, Eight Crazy Nights, Balto. He did the voices for that and the comebacks too, and Toy Story 4. And he was in Think Like a Man, Kevin Hart. That's it. That's all I gotta say for now. I'm out of here. Rest in peace, dude. That's it. Peace out. Ladies and goodbye. See you on the flip side. Hopefully, made it to heaven. Goodbye. I'm out of here. Stay extra safe, stay cautious. Talk to you guys soon. Goodbye. Stay more for your conscious channel. Later.